Hi! So this is like my third time trying to film this. I've been trying to film with my phone, but I don't have too much space left and I'm not too experienced recording with a DSLR, so hopefully the quality isn't too bad. But anyways, so I'm looking to buy some gear and this is my journey. I'm going to start with ND variable filters and I'm going to show you what I've got. Okay, so I've done a Google spreadsheets to organize my options. As you can see on the tabs below, I have like the things I want to buy, but first I'm starting with ND filters because I'm planning to do much more video over the summer before I start college, and since I'm going to be learning filmmaking, I will need my camera, I will need an ND filter to up my video game. So yeah, that's first. And second are my options. So what I'm willing to spend is $1 to $50 max. I've done this table. Here is the link column, brand column, subs column, features column. This is basically if the ND filter clicks every time I pass a stop, but double thinking this because if I'm doing video and I want to do a special effect using the ND filter, if it clicks, it will ruin the audio, so maybe this isn't too necessary. And also I'm looking if a hood and a cap can be attached, as well as the price. Like I said, I'm going to spend from $1 to $50. $50 equals approximately 1,000 pesos, and I don't want to break the bank while trying to buy my gear, so yeah. As for the tabs at the top, I have my Google Sheets tab, a converter of dollars to pesos, and an Amazon tab. And this is the way I'm organizing stuff. So at the top, I'm looking for a variable ND filter. And on the side, I click that I want products that have been evaluated for out of 5 stars or more. I don't have much knowledge of brands. Price, like I said, $1 to $50. I already said that I want a 55mm filter. And the rest I don't really care. So now here the way I'm filtering this more is by looking at for products that are below numbers that get to 50, because 50, like I said, is 1,000 pesos. I don't want to break my bank. So this with the shipping cost will cost me more than 1,000 pesos. So I'm trying to get away from that. So these are the other options and I'll be checking them out and talking about the ones I find, which ones I like and stuff like that. So I've got an update. I found this ND filter that for starters is very cheap. It's $25.80 plus $7.23 shipping. That equals to $33.03. And I converted that to Mexican pesos, which equals about 650 pesos, which is very, very good. And it has a lot of the stuff I'm looking for. For example, it is 55mm, which is something I need. It has nano coating, it's water resistant, it is anti-scratch, anti-water, I said that before. This video explains it perfectly. It's basically unbreakable, your fingerprints won't be on it, etc, etc. It's variable, which is very important, and it looks pretty good. So I'm going to do some more research on it and see if it competes against other options, and if it doesn't, this might be... I forgot to add, do you know how when you're talking about stuff with a person and then you go on Insta or something and you see an ad for that same product on your ads? Well, I'm taking advantage of this feature that the internet has, and I'm adding this product, and I mean every ND variable ND filter I find that I like, and adding it to my shopping list, kind of. That way, if I don't know where else to look, I just go to my ND filters list that you just saw and look at the recommendations and also like look from there. Okay, so I have an update. So if I recall correctly, the previous ND filter, variable ND filter that I found was $20 something. I found another one that was $17 or so that I didn't like because it didn't have all these special protections like, I don't know, waterproof and stuff like that. But I found this one from Livin that is $14 with everything. It is, by everything I mean shipping, $21.8, which translates to 432 Mexican pesos, which is very cheap, actually the cheapest one so far. And it is waterproof, dustproof, and anti-reflection. The thing that's bothering me is that it isn't anti-scratch, but like my lens aren't scratched, or at least I hope they aren't. So yeah, that was the update, and I'm going to keep looking to see if there's cheaper options or if there's more options, etc, etc. So till later. So another update. Remember with the previous variable ND filter that I said that it didn't have a couple stuff that I wanted, but it was very cheap actually, for like 400 pesos. Well, I found this one at $18.99 with 7.30 cents for shipping, which translates into, in a converter, we can see it equals $26.29, which equals to 521 Mexican pesos. And it has all these features. It is waterproof, scratch-proof, anti-reflective, anti-fingerprint, and it doesn't have the dreaded cross that many ND filters have. It can go from 2 to 5 stops, and yeah, it is the cheapest one I have so far, the cheapest option I mean. I've also added another column called YouTube approved, which basically means that I go on YouTube and look up for these filters, and I try to look for videos that aren't sponsored. If they are sponsored, well, I ignore them, but if they are not sponsored, I watch them and I take the decision to buy them or not based on that. So in this case, this one, there are plenty of videos that are not sponsored by JJC that talk about their ND filter, which is why I put a yes here. And I'm going to go ahead and look for videos that talk about the Livin variable ND filter and see how it goes. Okay, so the package came in 2 days early, and in this video I will not be testing out the ND filter because, well, I'm broke, but I am going to unpackage it. And here we have the ND filter. So we're going to open this, and it says Livin filter digital high definition, and all these little details. There's a sticker on the back, so I'm just going to run the cutter through there. And if this isn't what I was looking for, thankfully Amazon has a returning policy. This is the inside. It comes in its own little plastic case. Here comes the ND filter, and it is 55 millimeters. And it includes this little piece of paper that, oh, so these are different types of ND filter. Got it. I'm going to put it back into the box, and I'm going to throw this aside for a moment. And now this. Let's see how it opens. It opens very easily, and here it is. Like I said, I won't be testing it out because I'm broke. It is very easily rotatable, and well, I'm going to put this against the light here so you can see. And there it's getting darker and darker and darker, and yeah. So yeah, this is the ND filter. I'm going to put it back into its case. This is the ND filter. Well, we're here, and this is purposefully overexposed. The ISO is at 800, and I put it that high to test this. Here's the ND filter, and I'm going to screw it on. Es el tamaño que no era. Es 55 y necesitaba 58. What a what?
wonderful music your father wants to go.
Bueno, I mean, yeah. Well, it seems like it works perfectly. I mean, I'm holding it onto the camera because, well, this is 55 millimeters and the lens is 58. I got the wrong number. But yeah, it works. As you can see, the edges aren't visible, even though it's a size smaller. Yeah. So I'm back home and like I said, I got the wrong size. So all this is going to the trash. So as I'm looking over options for a 58mm ND variable filter, I'm going over the options I had in my Amazon ND filters wish list. And I found one that's from JJC. I think I already mentioned it on this video before. It's basically relatively cheap and it has a lot of features. It's basically this one, and let's see. It is scratch proof, fingerprint proof, static proof, liquid proof. By liquid I mean water and oil. And I'm going to calculate the price in Mexican pesos right now. According to Google's converter, $33 with 6 cents equals to 653 and 68 Mexican pesos. Well, we've got another packet, so let's open it up. This is the new package. It's brand JJC. As you can see, the packaging is a bit informal compared to the Ligon one. Let's open it. This one does have the characteristics of the ND variable filter lens on the box. It's double-sided coating, variable, anti-coating static, Japanese optical glass, aluminum frame, anti-scratch coating, oil resistant, and reduces light. So let's open it up. I got the filter and there's nothing else in a box, so I'm just going to put it on the side. This is the filter. It is the filter's case. It has the JJC name on it. It has a yellow line going through it and it opens through a latch right here. So I'm going to flip that open. And hopefully it doesn't fall off, but here it is. So this is the variable ND filter. It is 58mm. It says so right here. It rotates very smoothly, even more smoothly actually than the Ligon ND filter. This doesn't have that much of a rubbery feel as the Ligon ND filter did, and it doesn't have the white little circle going on around the filter. So we're going to test it out. Okay, so we're here again, this time with the JJC neutral density variable filter. I'm opening the package and I'm going to put it on the lens and I'm going to screw it on. Okay, right now it's really dark, but I'm going to lower it. Whoa, it works amazingly. Okay, so now you can see the background, which is very nice. And now you can see the background more clearly and you can see me. Awesome. Now I'm going to take a few photos with this filter, see if there's any difference. The problem I've had with my photos is that the contrast is too high. So like in Lightroom, I have to set the contrast to the other end so that it kind of balances out. But hopefully with this variable ND filter, that isn't a problem anymore. So let's get to it. I used this ceramic teddy bear as a model and placed it in front of a bright background to test out the filter. As you can see, the shadows are too dark and the highlights too high. You can notice how the background light darkens the subject. Now, as we move on to the picture with the filter, you can see a nice, smooth, noticeable change in the picture. The darks and highlights aren't rough anymore, and you can actually make out the bear better in the pic than in the previous one. As for the color change, there isn't any tint in the photo with the filter on. There's just a slight color loss if you compare and contrast the pink, for example, in the curtain and the teddy bear shirt. I know you want to see if there is a cross on the ND filter, so I'm going to put on the lens and show you if it has a cross. Let's try this. Okay, so ND filter is on and I'm going to rotate the thingy and see if there's a cross. So Okay, so I didn't notice a cross, so that's a good thing. And I also wanted to share that I did test the filter a couple of times accidentally. I was taking some photos of some flowers and I accidentally touched the lens part of the filter, and it is effectively fingerprint proof. And I also dropped the filter when I was taking the teddy bear photo, and well, the filter is completely fine. I don't see any cracks, so it is also fall proof. I think that if I were to test it with like water, or I don't know, and scratch it with a blade or something, that it would be perfectly fine. Also, something I forgot to mention is that you can't attach things to your filter. So like if you want to put on the lens cap on or a hood, you can't. I already tried it with my cap and well, I can't. And the second thing is that when you screw it on, you have no way of knowing where the dots on the variable filter will end up. The dots that tell me how many stops I passed and stuff. I have no way of knowing where they end up. So yeah, thank you for watching, for staying this long in the video. I didn't intend for this to be so long, but I hope it helps someone. So bye, see you.